No Time to Spy. Well, this was a surprise. Now, before I get on to my review, I just want to say that this isn't an SSS movie review, more or less an SSS movie, more or less as an SSS review. Mostly because, well, this is mostly regarded as a TV film, and I know it was released on Paramount Plus. And I know that I've reviewed like other movies that's like Pinocchio, the Netflix version that was released on Netflix and wasn't a theatrical movie. No Time to Spy is mostly more of a TV film, so I decided that it's best if I just give it an SSS review. So, this movie. Okay, now, let's just say that when it comes to the Loud House, their movies have been kind of hit or miss. Like, first off, you got the 2021 movie, which, not gonna lie, was pretty bad. It had jittery and rigid animation, fantasy elements, which didn't help the show's case since the show started off as a slice of life show. And yeah, the movie was not good. And I already made a review on the 2021 movie saying that I thought it was a great movie, but the Loud House movie is just a prime example of how our opinions change. And I started to dislike the film a lot more after seeing some reviews and rewatching the film. Yeah, it was not a good movie. And I've seen a lot of Christmas. It was like a live action movie, but I mostly just skimmed through it because I didn't have a lot of care for that film. So, with the Loud House, at its third attempt at another movie. Well, this is their second animated film for the series and their third animated film in the franchise, if you also count the Casa Grande's movie and the fifth film in the Loud House franchise in general. Well, No Time to Spy. Will this movie really? Will the Loud House nail their third attempt at an animated film, or will this just prove that the Loud House is just not meant for films? So let's jump into this review. Let's start off with the premise. The premise of this movie is about the Louds are going on a vacation because Albert and Myrtle are getting married. However, because Myrtle's backstory is that she's a secret agent, Lincoln wants to go on a secret mission with her, and when Myrtle gets kidnapped, Lincoln and his family have to go save them. Have to go save her. So I think let's probably start off with the animation. Now, I think it's already note that one of my main criticisms with the Loud House movie is that the animation looked really jittery. Now, that's because it was animated by Top Drawn Animation, which has never done animation on the Loud House. But again, it's a bit hard to animate the film in the same style as the show, since Jam Film Entertainment because Jam Film Entertainment is responsible for the animation of the Loud House. But you couldn't have the animation try to represent the same style instead of just trying to be all cinematic. No Time to Spy at least keeps the show's animation style. At least it's the same animation style. Granted, with more lighting and more effects, because even though the characters hardly represent Shaden, which is another criticism I had with the 2021 movie, at least there's some lighting effects. At least the movements look fluent instead of just jittery like the 2021 movie. And it also doesn't help the fact that the animation is at its best at the action scenes, which I will admit I really love the action sequences, but I'll get to that later on. But yeah, the animation, I mean, there are some shots where, especially when the movements where the characters move and the animation can look off, especially with the outline of the characters. But overall, the animation is definitely better than the 2021 movie. I can say that. And the lighting and visual effects are also really good. Like, really good. And I say that the animation here is a giant step up from the 2021 movie, like I said. So I really like the animation. The lighting and visual effects are also really good. Now let's get on to one of my main criticisms with the film. It's the whole, it retreats a lot of some problems that some episodes have. You got the whole Lincoln being paranoid about stuff, and Lincoln thinking everything around him is suspicious. I don't get why in these movies, when the Loud House has a large runtime, they just had to mess around with Lincoln's character, thinking just for the sake of the plot. And the fact that he texts Myrtle's agent saying that, oh, she accepted the mission even though Myrtle doesn't want to. It's kind of, that's where he kind of gets a bit unlikable. Thankfully, Lincoln does redeem himself at the end by feeling bad and even goes as far as to sacrifice himself, which we will get to that when we get to that. The sisters, at least with the sisters in this movie, at least that they actually serve more purpose than the other films, which, unlike the Loud House movie, which the sisters hardly have any interference in the plot, and they just do nothing in the movie except for the grand battle where they have to help out Lincoln. At least here they have more screen time. At least they get to do more action here. At least they got more action. They got more scenes of them doing action instead of just them being in the background. The sisters did get on my nerves, especially with them thinking the fake like an employee there is the actual Myrtle. And another running joke that really got on my nerves is the whole characters don't really recognize Flip. Yeah, that's probably one of my main criticisms with the movie. Is that Flip doesn't really change a lot of his appearances, and they think that it's someone else. In fact, they even question how this random guy's showing up at these places, and not once in the movie they not one person in this movie think, oh wait, that's Flip. Yeah, that's my biggest problem with the sisters, is that they're at times they could be stupid, but I like them in the movie, at least, and like again, at least that they have some purpose in the plot, and at least they actually have moments where they shine, unlike the 2021 movie. And also, let's talk about what I said about what Lincoln's character improved at the end. For me, No Time to Spy is easily probably the darkest the Loud House has ever gone in, with the family basically being sent up to outer space. Lincoln and you got the whole Myrtle not refusing to marry Papa because of her backstory and how they're literally falling to space, and you got Lincoln basically sacrificing himself to save his family, which was pretty dark for like the Loud House. And the fact that when the family does save Lincoln, and the fact that he almost drowns, that was pretty dark. And the family's reaction to their son literally falling into space was pretty hard to watch. In fact, Lincoln breaking down was pretty hard to watch, to be honest. And again, this is probably the darkest the show has gotten. You got your main character sacrificing themselves to save his family, his or her family. Well, Lincoln sacrificing himself to save his family and basically almost dying is probably the darkest this show has gotten. And yeah, this is on. Then those are the reasons why I think that No Time to Spy is definitely the Loud House at its darkest. But at least it had a nice ending, and oh my god, I had to tell this right now because right during the ending, my Fire Stick decided to just mess around and just all of a sudden not work, and I missed the ending. So, but I did get to see parts of the ending. It did end. From what I've seen, it did end on a nice note. Again, but I need to watch the rest of the ending. And as for as again, this is again the probably the most darkest the Loud House has gone in. And at least we get to see other characters. Going back to the characters, at least Clyde, Flip, and Mr. Krause are in this movie. At least that they have something in there, unlike the last movie where they're basically hardly in the movie. Like Flip getting like only like a few seconds of screen time and basically having no lines. At least there's some characters that actually do that actually are in the movie. Yeah, maybe not for so long, and they kind of fall into the shoehorn plot, but I don't know. I feel like it was nice seeing them in a Loud House movie. This one. So overall, also we gotta talk about the plot twist about the whole. You know that crazy girl that there's a few scenes with Lincoln. Apparently, she's like a villain because that villain in the beginning, I was apparently her husband, I think, and because he's gone, she wants revenge on Myrtle. I will admit that that was a plot twist I didn't see coming. That wasn't really a negative nor positive. It's just more of a WTF moment in the movie. And as for the villain, I feel like the teasers kind of mislead us a bit, saying that how I don't know his name, but the villain in the beginning was going to be the villain of the movie, but he's only gone. He's only in for Myrtle's backstory scene. So I kind of think the movie kind of misleads us on that a bit. Overall, I don't think there's much I can say about here. No Time to Spy is, for me, honestly not that. Honestly, it was actually pretty good. I mean, it's not amazing, but for the Loud House, I think this is probably the best Loud House film in the franchise. And I think it's definitely a giant step up from the Loud House movie. It has the animation is the same as the show. The movements are a lot more fluent, and there's more light and more visual effects. The characters went from being a mixed bag to improving at the end. The action scenes, again, I really love the action sequences, especially the chase scenes. The action scenes go hard, to be honest. They really go hard. And again, from what I've seen, the ending is nice. And I do like that Lincoln improved himself instead of just, because unlike the Loud House movie where he just does what he does because for his own selfish benefit, he's doing this just to save his fam. He's doing this for Myrtle, he just wants to have fun with Myrtle. He wants to have a spy mission, even though the things he did was a bit scummy. He does improve himself at the end, and he eventually does save his family. There really isn't much I can say about this movie. So my final score of this movie, I'm gonna give this one an 80 out of 100. Now, my initial thoughts on this movie was very worrisome because in my community post I said I had low expectations of this movie. The movie actually turned out really good. I really enjoyed this movie, and I liked how it ended. I really like how it ended. If I could see the end, I really like how it ended up being a great surprise. It's something that I wasn't really expecting. And I think this is probably the best thing that the Loud House has released since. So yeah, the Loud House, this is better than the Loud House movie. And I think that the so great job, Loud House. You managed to improve yourself after your that was your misstep that was the 2021 movie. So yeah, I'm giving this movie an 80 out of 100, and for Loudest fans, I definitely recommend it. And for newcomers, I think you should probably start off with the first. You should probably start watching the series before you dive into this movie. Overall, that's all I can say about the No Time to Spy, a Loud House movie. So, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and that's pretty much it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing reviews on this, but I'll try to because I don't know. Mostly because I'm not really my interest in doing reviews is kind of dying down a bit, but I don't know. I'll try to get some reviews out. So, but my interest of doing reviews is kind of been fading a bit, but I'll still continue to do these for you guys. Anyways, guys, so thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and yeah, take care, and we'll see you guys next time. Adios.